Hi everyone, our journal page today, and it's going to be all around this piece of paper or tag. I bought something. This was the tag, and that inspired the page. I have a vague idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to start without too much talking. I've got here a pattern paper that is going to be the base of my page, and I'm going to glue it with white glue that was diluted with water. This is about only third glue, all the and water. So just putting a lot of glue here, and I'm being messy already. Went overboard with the glue. That's what happens when I'm trying to be fast about it. Okay, I was a little bit too generous with the glue, but never mind. And I'm just going to put some pieces like so. I'm going on top to seal it and make everything is in place. Sorry about my voice. And I'm going to trim later the excess. Right now I just want some interesting coverage to my page. Here we go. And I've got lovely wrinkles in the back, which of course I like. Okay, so it's very delicate. That's why I went with the diluted white glue. It's easier to work like that. And I've got a big piece here which I'm going to just cut into pieces. I don't want straight lines. Not completely anyway. So let's take what I've spilled here and yeah, this way. I'm going over the edges so I will know that I have a complete coverage of my page. It's just easier, and then later I'll trim it. So here we go. Just one more piece and we are done. Oh, I love this. And I'm thinking of putting another one because I get more colors and pattern, more shapes when they are overlapping. So I'm thinking, let's go with another one. And I'll just trim here. Good enough. Okay, and let's see. I've got a bit here that needs to get covered. So I'm just taking another piece, putting it here, and call it done. And I can also use the leftover pieces. It will just add to the whole. more interesting shapes in the background. And yeah, this is it. I'm going to let this dry and then I'll come back. And I'm back. So this is dry, and before moving on, I just want to give you some two options if you don't have any kind of this kind of paper, pattern paper. So one of them is taking the backing of paper napkins, spray it with either this is from food coloring and water, just brown, either spray it with something like this or make a concentrated tea, and again spray to get some color and not white, and just stamp away on top of it with stamps like this, or you can do it by hand, X's and this kind of, so it will look like all these markings, and you can stamp all kinds of numbers and text, whatever you want to make something like that. This is one option. The other option is brown paper, which you have everywhere. If it's a grocery store bags, if it's lunch bags, and again the same thing, only this is not transparent. So stamp away and just glue pieces to have a background, and then work on top of it. So that was the two options that I just thought about. And I've got this stamp set, and I bought it in Prague, and it's some local for them company brand, so I don't have anything to tell you about it. Now these are quite long, I like them, but I don't have a large acrylic block to put it on. I've got this one, and even this is not long enough. So I had to figure out a way to use it, because I really hate when I have something dangling like this. So what I figured out is I have this ruler still in the cover, and I'm just putting it on, and it will also work on acetate, but this is better because it's not a block and it's just this. I'm going to use Momento Tuxedo Black, and I just want to add to the markings that I have in the background. So what I'm trying to do, and again I'm doing it quite randomly, but I do want to try and create some movement in the back, some directionality, or let's say well, like dividing the space into sections like this. So never thought I would use a ruler as a base for a stamp, but here we go, it's working. So again, and yeah, this is nice, really like it. And just ghost printing. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave it be. I thought about using this that also look like a stitch, a plain stitch, but I am going to leave it be. And now I want to use, I've got two more stamps that I want to use here. Bought it a long time ago, never used them, well, used them once and that's it. That's what I'm always tempted to buy, these elaborate stamps, and then I find out that because they are so elaborate I can't use them each time or every time, and you need something more team that will work with them to use them. So I've stopped buying things like that. Here we go. And it's just adding to the background. Basically, I don't have to. This is going to get covered with gesso, but diluted gesso, because I want to push it in and tame it, tone it down. But I thought it would be nonetheless, it will be nice to use these stamps that I don't get to use. And I'm not even trying to get a good print out of it. Just adding some detail to the background. Here I do try to put the stamp better, yeah, because I'm thinking that maybe my tag is going here like this, and I will use this. Okay, so stamping done. Yeah, I think it is. And I'm going to move everything aside. I need to make sure everything is dry, all this ink is dry before I'm putting gesso. I don't want to smear and have a mess, so I'll be back. I'm back. So let's hope the ink is dry, because I don't want to create a gray mess here. And I've got a little bit of gesso here and a sponge that I'm now going to spray with water. Now I want it damp but not dripping, and I'm hoping to take just a little bit of gesso and starting, yeah, like this. I want to see what's going on underneath. I just want to tone it down, and I'm using a sponge because I really don't want brush strokes. I'm adding a little bit more water, and it's better to put less and then go over it if you want more than trying to remove excess gesso. So here's what I'm doing. Okay. Trying to eliminate any kind of markings from the gesso. I'm referring to the gesso. Like, I didn't want brush strokes. I don't want to see a circle, the circle movement of the sponge. Just a coverage. So I'm trying to spread it evenly. And I'm adding where I think it needs more. Yeah. Yeah. I really like when something works. So I'm going for a minute back to my tag. This was my tag. I already covered it with black gesso. Now if you don't have black gesso, you can take any kind of permanent black marker and go over it. Now this is still wet. Now when about the permanent black marker, another thing about it is that I still have like white edges here, and sometimes it's just easier to take a black permanent marker and go over the edges instead of trying with the paintbrush to do the edges, and then you've got globs of paint or gesso on the sides. So that's just one thing, and this is going to probably going here. Now I want to dress my paper doll. I don't know what to call it, and I really like it. So what I've done is I took a tracing paper, put my tag underneath, so I will have the silhouette, and I really like that this is a generous silhouette and not some anorectic Barbie doll. So, and then I started with a pencil trying to make something to put on her, some clothes. And that's just my way of working. It's easier for me to work on tracing paper and correct myself until I'm satisfied with what I have. So I've got this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the clothes for my doll. I don't have anything else to call it, and she's going to be a little bit well, what do I call it, weird, freaky clothes, because that's what I like, and you will get the whole idea behind it when I'm finished with this page. And I want the skirt of the doll from this paper, and I'm using copy paper, carbon paper, whatever, tracing paper, everyone calls it something else, what we used to use in a typewriter. And I'm just placing it here. I'm going to go over the lines, and the black ones with the permanent marker is the ones that I decided work after all the tries with the pencil, so I went over it with a permanent marker. Here we go. So let's see, yeah. And now what I need to do is fussy cut the skirt from this. Now I had this tag for quite some time, and I knew I wanted to use it in an art journal page, but I was so focused on what she's going to wear that, and I couldn't decide what I want to put on her. So I didn't make it until now. And basically I I finally understood that I like so many things, so different styles, that's why I can't decide. And then I decided she needs to be very eclectic with her garments, okay, because basically that's how I am. There are days that I like t-shirt and denim. There are days that I will go with something fancy, and there are days that I will just throw something I don't know, hippie hippie chic. So this is me, and that's what my doll should be also. And I'm going over, let's see if I can smear it. This is Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen, so yes, I can smear it a little bit, although it does dry permanently. So oh, I like it. It gives more depth to the folding here of the skirt. So I'm trying to I hope I'm in frame. I don't want the gesso is still a little bit damp, so I don't want to work on top of this. And as you can see, I'm just going over the lines like this, and then I'm just using my finger like so. And this is I can smear it a little bit before it dries permanently. Yeah, really like it. So I've got my skirt here, and now I want to do the top, and I've got some painty paper that I wanted. Very weird painty paper. This is with oil pastels as resist, and then watercolors on top. That's why, and with the stencil, I've put a stencil underneath, went with the oil pastels, and then some watercolors. So again, I'm going to trace the blouse or the top or whatever here. Forgot here. Yeah. So again, I need to fussy cut it, and I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to do also the, this hat that I'm not sure will go on here, but we'll see. I want to do the hat from this painty paper I have, and she's going to have some boots. So I'll be back because this is taking some time. I'm back. So here is the tag, and here are the pieces. Now I've stopped at drawing army boots that I wanted. I just printed them off the internet, and this is the blouse that I wanted, and I went with the permanent marker, but also with a 10B pencil so I can smear. This is just printer paper, so I knew that the Pitt pen won't smear here, and I've used this kind of pencil where I wanted to do a little more shading. Like if I want this side a little bit more shaded, then I've put more of the pencil and just with my finger did this. So now I've got these two pieces, and it completely covered my tag, but never mind. I thought it would show, but it doesn't. But well, the whole thing started from this. Now I'm thinking that I want to use this leg here from the manicure, and I will just go over it with permanent marker, and we'll see if I will do something here, so like the hat could hang out of on top of and the boots will just stay here by on the side, or here. I haven't decided yet. Now I haven't glued anything down yet. I just want first to go over the leg here, and let's try another Faber-Castell Pitt artist pen. This is the M, maybe for medium, I don't know, and I'm just going over it so it would be a little bit more prominent, and we'll go with the rest of the paper dough. That's how I'm calling it. And a little bit more shading to the one side, like in the stamp. And let's see. Yeah, it works. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. Now for now I'm just putting it aside because I want to give more color to my page. This was just the beginning, just laying some details and interest to my background, and I'm quite baffled. I thought I knew what I wanted to do, but now I'm not sure because I've got these colors, the reds and red brown, and this like a khaki or olive green and more brown here, and I'm not sure what to do. So I'm thinking I'm going to tint the page with colors that will correspond with this, and let's see how I can manage it. I'm gonna try first to use my gelatos, if not maybe watercolors, anything that will not give me coverage, that is not opaque. I want just to add color. And let's see, I've got brown, I've got red, I've got olive green, and well, let's see, let's start. And I want to use it like watercolors, and I'm taking a brush with water, activating and going over, but now I'm thinking it will it will give me brush strokes that I don't want. So how to go about it? The brown is good enough to darken my edges, but like this, but not, I don't want, again, I don't want brush strokes. So I'm thinking, and I'm going to do the same thing I've done with the gesso and the sponge, and let's see if it will work. I'm taking acrylic paint. This is, it says forest green, and I've got also leaf green, don't know. I'm going to start with the forest green. On the outside it looks a little bit like olive green, and again I'm going to take the same sponge, I'm going to dump it with water, and let's hope it will work. And it works. I can add color without having to cover my page, and I can add where I want. Yeah, definitely the way to go. Too much, trying to remove quickly before it dries. Yeah. Okay, so now that I have this green that I really like, I want some brown, and I want some red, and maybe not brown. I thought about taking burnt umber. Now I'm thinking burnt sienna because it's more reddish. And let's see what kind of red I'm going to take. Not sure. Okay, we'll see. Let's start with the burnt sienna. I'm again putting a little bit here, and I'm putting more water on my sponge. Ooh, I like it. also going over some of the green. I think they work quite nice together, and I will go with this over the edges. It really adds to the whole thing. So I need more. Oh, took the wrong. I'm kind of messy, and I don't know. Sometimes everything gets jumbled. So going over the edges with the burnt sienna, and I think these two colors just go very nicely together. Too much paint. So I'm trying to spread it. And now I'm thinking that I will add more of the green also, because it really is taking shape. Maybe I'll even darken more the edges, but I will do it when this is dry, and I'll use a ink pad to do it. So going in again with some of the green, and I need more water. Oops. So as I'm looking at it, I think that I really don't need to try and add red to the mix. I think the burnt sienna and the green are just fine like this. And as I said again, in several places I'm going with the two colors. And let's see, I will have to go over with the permanent marker, because it's it toned down and I want it to stand out more. The coloring of the page is quite random. I just want splotches of color in several places. And again, I've got too much paint here. Managing to remove it. Okay, so I've got the color that I wanted. I'm going to just piece the pieces together, and then I'm going to do some writing. I'll be back. I'm back, and once again my phone decided it's too long and quit on me. So what I've done, I went over the edges with just a makeup sponge and some ink pad. I've used a Grand Espresso Distress Ink by Tim Holtz, and I did the writing. Now the last tip for the day about the writing: I always am running out of space, and I don't know how to plan, how to fit whatever I want to write, and that everything will fit. So what I've done is I've taken again some tracing paper, pergament paper, whatever you have that has some transparency. I've put it on my page so I can see where everything goes, and now I can see the dress, my doll here. And with a pencil I've written until I was satisfied, and then again use the copy paper underneath to trace it and to see where everything goes. And then I went over it with a permanent marker. So this is it. That's my doll with some flowery skirt, AC/DC t-shirt, some quirky hat that I wanted to put a flower on and forgot about it. Now that I think about it, I need to find some flower, and the army boots that I wanted. So this is it, and I am really liking this page, especially the background. I'll probably do something like this in the future, for something else, of course. So thank you for watching and being patient, and thank you for leaving me comments below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.